Wait, it's not, stop. It's not what it looks like, I promise you. It's just a little emergency. Gotta keep myself up, because I just saw The Dirt, man. It's time to rock!
It could have happened to anybody, but it didn't. It happened to us.
The new band is gonna be something nobody's ever seen before.
We got a runaway, a kid drummer, an old man,
Let's just play it.
a cover band singer.
They say you're gonna be a rock star.
What do you think?
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I just saw The Dirt. Look at my big 80s band hair, ha! And I am feeling pumped. This is the story of Mötley Crüe. You know the characters: Nikki Sixx, Mick Mars, Tommy Lee, Vince Neil, the boys of bad boy 80s glam rock. And I have to say, I actually did not listen to a lot of Mötley Crüe myself. And anyone who knows me knows I do take in a lot of genres of music. You know, Nirvana's one of my favorites. Black Sabbath, who they actually tour with in the movie and in their career, is one of my favorites. But I can get down on country, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, as much as hip hop and rap and jazz, whatever. I'm just pumped about music, and I'm so glad that this movie came out, because it really gives me a new genre to get excited about. It's on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix subscription, please go check it out. Head to the box. It has a high rating on Netflix, but it has a low critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I wonder why. Yeah, the critics themselves didn't like this movie, but it wasn't made to be an award or even a good movie. It was supposed to be an entertaining movie about these rock gods that from the 80s that we followed and we watched develop. And yeah, that's what this was. This was a fun, exciting one. I can't stop whipping my hair. I need a drink. Okay, so let's get into it. So, cheers. So, The Dirt starts off with the point of view of young Nikki Sixx, and his mom kind of walks out on him. No, his dad walks out of him, and his mom's got abusive guys in and out of the house. She's not really a mother, and he says, you know what, fuck all that. You know, if my family's not gonna do shit for me, I'm gonna take my life in my own hands. He, sends his mom to jail, and he runs away, and he, says, I'm gonna start something, I'm gonna make something. And then we cut to, we see the young perspective of young Tommy Lee, and Tommy Lee's got the opposite life. He comes from a nice, loving family. He's rocking the leather pants, and he's rocking the hair and all that, but his family's just so accepting of whatever he wants to do. And so it's it was really cool to see how these guys that ended up in kind of the same place with all their ups and downs and struggles doing rock music started from totally different environments. They all really did, because after we see that, we see Tommy Lee meet Nikki Sixx, who's legally changed his name to Nikki Sixx. Fuck his dad. They decide to hold auditions, and we get a couple people come through, and Mick Mars is one of the ones that come through. And the whole time I was I'm with Mick. Mick was a little bit older. He found out he had a condition that was gonna cripple him one day.
It's a degenerative bone disease.
And he was like, this is my time to rock. I gotta go for it now. And if I'm coming on board, we're gonna be about something. We're gonna be focused. We're gonna do what we gotta fucking do. And I was with Mick Mars. And yeah, he was really kind of the quiet, chill one of the whole group. And everyone needs one of those, or else I don't know how they would have made it. So they get their sound together. They figure out what they're gonna do. They're like, well, we need some vocals. None of us are on vocals. And so they're checking out local places, local areas, and they stumble across Vince Neil. And he's just doing sort of a high Beach Boy shit, covering at weddings and stuff. And they're like, nah, man, you really want to do something? You really want to rock? Let's rock. And they get him on board. And so we've got the Mötley Crüe. And it just takes off from there. They said they kick it, you know, they work the underground scene. And what I liked about this movie was it gave you a sense of like how it really was to try to develop yourself as a band back then. It's a little different now with like social media, with like YouTube. You can be found on there. You got all these competitions that you can go on TV. There's all sorts of options for people nowadays. In fact, it might be too many options, and so people can easily get lost in the crowd. But back then, it was like, okay, you need to be in one of these major cities, New York, LA, you know, these places where music is happening, and you gotta work the scene, get a following. So they go do their first show, and like, they're rocking their leather pants, they're rocking their hair and the dive bar, and they heckle them, and they show that they're not gonna take their shit. So they get out there and they're bad boys, and they, you know, beat the guy up, and the crew and the audience goes wild for it. And so it's like from this moment they're like, okay, we gotta play up to these roles. We are, you know, we are who we are.
If we want to knock people on their asses, then we've got to give them a show. I'm talking like a stadium show in the clubs. The fans, they're dying for some anarchy. So let's give it to them.
Tommy Lee, throughout the movies, like, I'm a hopeless romantic, so his, like, vice is love. And he's always, like, chasing after some girl or following behind some girl. And we see some scenes where he, like, hits one of his girls and, like, it freaks him out. And, you know, he just realizes he has a problem kind of with women.
Tommy Lee and Heather Locklear have separated.
That's his vice. And then we see Vince Neil.
Mötley Crüe, no strangers to controversy.
Vince Neil was charged with vehicular manslaughter.
Vince Neil is definitely lady. He's fucking everything in sight. A part of me was jealous. I was like, I'm not even gonna lie. Part of me was like, damn, if I was Vince Neil, you know, he was just getting it everywhere he could get it. But in all honesty, that's not really something they glamorize here. Pete Davidson was in the movie as the record label agent.
I work for Elektra Records. You guys like a record deal?
And, you know, this guy just signs him to a record deal, and Vince Neil's plowing his girlfriend in the dressing room right before they're supposed to go on the show. And, you know, what kind of, you know, don't crap where you eat, son. So we see things like that. Or we see, you know, one of the band members is sleeping with one of the, Nikki Sixx is sleeping with Tommy Lee's first fiance. And, you know, I don't think that ever gets brought up or resolved, but obviously they figure it out. And Nikki is just trying to fill that void of the family like he never had, like that loneliness. So he's partying all night and he's doing drugs.
Nikki Sixx has overdosed.
And, you know, they're on tour. They get to the point where they get on a tour with Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and they headline for him. And so Ozzy's kind of, you know, more established by this point here. We're in the 80s, and Ozzy's like encouraging it. Ozzy's like, no, I'm an old timer, I can still. And the scene at the pool was like the craziest stuff I had seen in a long time. I'm not one to cringe, but that made me cringe a little bit. Don't I look good? Hold on, let's do it. Is this working? Is this working? Remember, it's emergency. It's emergency. It's emergency, people. Okay, I want to do another one. I don't want it's a family-friendly show. They're just being bad boys. They're destroying hotel rooms. They're, you know, crushing, damaging property. They're, you know, having orgies and gangbangs every night. And I hate to use those words, but it's what it was. And I actually enjoyed seeing this. Even though the movie offered no substance into their creative process, no substance into, you know, we see an argument that Vince is upset that the new album sucks, so he quits, and that's about the only thing that we hear talk about the music. It's very interesting that The Dirt, I love The Dirt for every reason I did not like Bohemian Rhapsody. A lot of people complain that Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, Queen was a larger than life, Freddie Mercury, larger than life character, way larger than these guys, I would even say. No hate to anyone, but yeah, Freddie Mercury and Queen are on a whole nother level. And the things that they probably got down, and a lot of people felt like it was sanitized. And yeah, we got into the deep characters, we felt the pathos, the ethos. We saw a wonderful Oscar-winning performance by Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, and that's all wonderful from a filmmaking standpoint. But we as fans, and we as people who seek entertainment for movies, we want to see some of the raw, the nitty-gritty. You know, I saw every white ass on there, and was I happy about it? Yeah, because it made it a more adult movie that I wanted to see. But for every reason that I liked Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, delving into the creative process, how they decided on tracks, what they did, you know, we didn't see that in The Dirt. So I think that's kind of why this movie You know, it was written based off a book of 2006. It's been in development since 2008, I believe. You know, so it's been a long time. Netflix picked up the rights in 2017 to start filming, and it finally launched earlier this year. So for Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx, Vince Neil, my boy Mick Mars, and even Pete Davidson as the manager. I don't know his name. You guys, it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride, so definitely go check out The Dirt on Netflix now, and leave a like and leave a comment on what you want to see. Recommend something for me to see. I'll get into a look, I'll act a little crazy, and I'll let you know what I think. But until then, this has been another Brandon's Hangover. See you guys.
I know it's not gonna be easy, but I
Win it all or lose it all. We are Mötley Crüe.
Mötley Crüe, here all week!